music, but somehow along the way of New York and playing with so many people of different genres, and I've sort of diluted the Cuban thing a little bit in my music, but it's always there.
I don't know if it's diluted so much as other things have enriched it.
That's a much better way of putting it. It's been enriched by other people's, including I mean jazz, and I play with a lot of incredible jazz musicians in New York as well, and they all had a hand in enriching my knowledge of the music and just growing as a musician and as a Simon.
And tell me a little bit more about the material that you were playing this evening.
Most of the music, except for Billy's tune, is recorded on a CD that we did early this year entitled "The Seasons," where I recorded a suite sort of inspired by Vivaldi's "The Seasons," which makes all this connection that much more.
Right. And so the Vivaldi, it's this Baroque piece, and it moves through four sections that's trying to be a real depiction of spring, summer, fall, winter.
Exactly, but nowadays, with all the things that are going on in climate change, you couldn't have such a happy version of the seasons. So it's got a sort of somewhat dark undertone, but it's somewhat inspired by Vivaldi's concept.
Vivaldi take for the 21st century.
Exactly.
And what we're trying to go through.
Before it's only gonna be, before it's all summer,
And tell me a little bit about how you got to know Billy Child's music, since we're hearing so much of his material throughout this evening.
When I came to audition for
Go ahead.
When I went to audition at the new school in, I think it was 98 or 99, I went to, I think it was the Iridium, and Billy was playing. And I never heard of Billy Childs before. I was really into people like Rick Garland, Wynton Kelly, really like pre-1960 and early 60s jazz. And I wasn't aware of him as a pianist and composer, but I went to see him, and I automatically went to the now defunct Tower Records, and I bought a couple of records of his, and ever since I've been a huge fan of his music. He's one of those people that really bridges the gap between classical and jazz. I follow all his records. There's one of his that I really love that's called Lyric Suite, with a string quartet and a harp and acoustic guitar. It's beautiful, beautiful records that he makes.
Yeah, and I think if you stay for the evening, you're going to hear lots of Billy Child's music. We're very lucky that we're actually ending this evening with Billy Child's quartet, and I think one of your musicians is going to be reappearing.
Hans has been playing with Billy's group as well, so I guess he'll be playing with him tonight also.
So how long have you and Hans and EJ been collaborating?
As a trio, we've been collaborating for about 3 years now, maybe 3.5 years. But I've known Hans almost as long as I've been in New York, and EJ I met while I was at the new school. So we've known each other for good 17, 18 years, something like that.
I was going to say, because you played together and it's so I mean, you're all great individual musicians, but there's an energy and a cohesiveness that comes with people you've known and played with for a long, long time.
Yeah, I think enough can be said about the power of playing together a lot. I mean, we've been playing together a lot for the last 3 years or so, and you start to really know each other as a musician, and we're trying to, you almost figure out what's gonna come next, because you know them so well. It makes making music really that much more pleasurable, because you can really focus on the music as opposed to, and that there's always some magic that's gonna happen when you know each other so well.
And tell me a little bit about what you have coming next.
Well, actually, I was awarded this year the CMA New Jazz Works grant
So CMA is Chamber of Music
Chamber of Music
America,
America.
and you'll hear more, hear some CMA fans in the audience. And they're a wonderful organization that helps commission and nurture and promote new works, new music.
Right, and the piece that I wrote for the commission is entitled "The Planets," and we are actually going to premiere the piece next